that you enjoyed your lunch and, of course, the wonderful performance of the Blue Nightingales. Now, everyone, as we resume our program, we tackle the fourth component of the project, which is communications and knowledge management. And at its heart is championing responsible ASGM. To see how this came to life, let's all watch this video.
Communication isn't just about messaging. It's about amplifying voices and building trust. Through its communications and knowledge management component, the planetGOLD Philippines project leads advocacy efforts, fosters knowledge sharing, and builds partnerships to transform the way the ASGM sector is perceived and understood. Through multi-platform communication efforts, the project has reached over 3 million people across the country and beyond. From digital and traditional media to in-person campaigns, our messages on Mercury-Free, inclusive, and responsible ASGM are breaking through.
Dati po kapag sinabing small-scale miner, parang negatibo agad. Ngayon, nakikita nila na may ginagawa kami para maging responsible at ligtas.
Together with the media, the planetGOLD Philippines project is changing how the world sees ASGM. Throughout its implementation, the project helped connect local, national, and international journalists with ASGM communities, enabling them to go beyond the headlines. They met miners, gold processors, and community leaders, uncovering real stories of resilience and bringing them into the mainstream. With over 60 media features and more than 60 journalists engaged, the project has helped shift the narrative, spotlighting real stories from the ground. Through media kapihan sessions, multiple media conferences, and the Solutions Journalism Workshop, the project opened space for deeper, more nuanced reporting. The project also launched the first and only radio program in the Philippines dedicated to ASGM, The Gold Talk, sa responsableng pagmimina, lahat giginhawa. With 20 episodes aired across 2 provinces, the project brought the voices of miners and communities straight to the airwaves.
Sa bawat episode ng The Gold Talk, nabigyan natin ng boses ang mga minero at community leaders. Mga kwentong matagal nang hindi naririnig, ngayon ay naipapahayag na sa mas malawak na audience.
Kami sa Radyo Pilipinas ay natutuwa na may ganitong uri ng serbisyong pampubliko dahil hanggang ngayon, marami pa rin ang hindi lubos na nakakaunawa kung ano talaga ang maliitang pagmimina. At sa parehong paraan, narinig din ng mga minero kung paano maging responsableng minero na ipapaabot natin sa kanila ang kaalaman sa pamamagitan ng mga ganitong plataforma.
The planetGOLD Philippines brought advocacy into classrooms to engage the next generation in shaping a better mining future. Over 500 students and teachers participated in interactive learning sessions featuring storytelling, film screenings, contests, and a commitment mural symbolizing their pledge to support responsible ASGM. Through music and art, The project brought stories of miners to life. The project also produced 2 storybooks on ASGM, distributed them to over 50 schools across project sites, and a tribute song celebrating the strength and role of women miners. The planetGOLD Philippines also launched The Power of Gold, Stories from the Ground, a 6-part documentary series that shines a light on the lives of miners and their communities.
Ang tagal ko na talaga nakakakita ng mga nagmimina dito sa amin sa Paracale. Pero ngayon ko lang talaga mas naunawaan kung gaano kahalaga ang responsableng pagmimina. Na-realize ko na mahalagang mangialam kami mga kabataan, lalo na sa pagtutol sa paggamit ng nakakalasong mercury.
From national conferences to global forums, planetGOLD Philippines gave ASGM a seat at the table. For 3 consecutive years, the project team joined the National Assembly of Small-Scale Miners in the Philippines, sharing lessons and supporting miners' participation. As the only ASGM exhibitor at the 2023 Mining Summit, the planetGOLD Philippines showcased responsible small-scale mining to over 300 stakeholders from government, industry, and civil society. The project's message reached global platforms, from PDAC in Canada to Minamata COP5 in Geneva, to a dialogue on mercury and e-waste pollution management in Tanzania, to the OECD forums in Paris, and back home to our ASGM communities.
Malaking bagay na marinig kami sa national level at nakakatuwang makasama ang mga minero na nagmula sa iba't ibang bahagi ng bansa. At lalo akong na-inspire na marinig ko ang kanilang mga problema at kung paano nila ito nasusolusyonan. Lalo akong na-inspire na pagbutihin ang aming samahan at gawin ang mga pulisiya na makakatulong sa aming samahan.
The project trained health workers, conducted health and environmental assessments, and educated miners on the dangers of mercury exposure. Through over 70 training sessions, planetGOLD Philippines built capacity in financial literacy, leadership, mine safety, first aid, and entrepreneurship, including Camarines Norte State College and Mountain Province State University, to root these lessons in communities.
Ang enriching ng partnership namin with planetGOLD Philippines. Nagkaroon kami ng pagkakataong maibahagi ang expertise namin sa ASGM community. At nagpapasalamat kami na nabigyan kami ng ganitong oportunidad na makapagturo sa mga minero. Pero sa totoo lang, kami rin mismo ang marami ring natutunan. Mas lumalim ang pangunawa namin sa sektor at nakita namin gaano kahalaga ang papel ng akadim sa pagunlad ng kanilang hanap buhay.
Sa 5 taon puno ng pagsasama, malaki ang natutunan namin sa iba't ibang training. Hindi lang tungkol sa ligtas na pagmimina, kundi pati sa pagpapalago ng aming samahan at pag-unlad namin bilang mga individual.
In 6 years, the planetGOLD Philippines built bridges between miners and media, students and storytellers, communities and policymakers. The project supported miners in seeing their livelihood more positively as responsible workers, community leaders, and voices that matter.
At planetGOLD Philippines project, we believe that small-scale miners deserve more recognition
as legitimate contributors to our economy and our communities. By amplifying their stories, we help build a more dignified ASGM sector.
And now to explore how communication drives behavior change, shifts mindsets, and inspires public support for responsible small-scale mining, let's welcome our passionate advocates and storytellers. We have with us the Editor-in-Chief of Bantayog Publication, PIO Camarines Norte Provincial Government, RJ Jimenez Ifondo. Also with us is the Director of Extension Services, Camarines Norte State College, Dr. Gurley Naval. Also joining our panel, we have our Youth for Responsible Gold Champion from Camarines Norte, Maricel Gajos. And our Youth for Responsible Gold Champion from the Mountain Province, Rainer Ligayo. All right, welcome to our panelists. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I will begin with questions for Mr. RJ Jimenez Ifondo. RJ, the Gold Talk radio program is the first and only in the country to focus on the ASGM sector. What inspired its launch and how has it helped raise awareness and promote responsible mining in Camarines Norte?
First, good afternoon, everyone. Technically, Gold Talk program is a research-backed strategy. It is an avenue, it is a platform that tackles and deals with the issues surrounding the artisanal and small-scale gold mining, especially in Camarines Norte. But we believe what really inspired and fueled the Gold Talk program is that there are a lot of, the reality of there are a lot of stories and there are a lot of efforts behind the ASGM sector. The stories of the small-scale miners and their challenges, the efforts of the mining experts and the organization that has helped them, the partnership that has been built along the way or along the process, and a lot more. Therefore, we believe that it should be put out there, it should be shared, and it should have its own spotlight and shine, maybe like gold. So every episode of DWC and every episode of Gold Talk program in DWC and 96.9 Radyo Pilipinas in our station is a chance to promote responsible mining practices. But how does it really makes a difference? First, this platform is community focused. Second, it is empowering. Next, it is instructive or somehow educational that raises the voices of responsible miners. But the most important, it changed gradually the landscape of how ASGM is perceived and how it is viewed in Camarines Norte.
That was very well said, RJ. I love that, bringing these untold stories to light so that they shine like gold. Now, RJ, can you tell us more about, the project team shared that the provincial government plans to sustain the Gold Talk program even after the project ends. Why is this important and how do you see it as contributing to long-term advocacy for the ASGM sector?
The consistency and continuity of the Gold Talk program, even after the project ends, is essential due to what they call this. The Camarines Norte ASGM sectors is steady expanding. It is therefore there should be a continuous awareness campaign, and when we say continuous campaign, it will sooner or later it will be established, it will be institutionalized, and then it will be a long-term campaign. But and since it would be a long-term campaign, the problems, the difficulties, and the challenges that has been encountered or about ASGM will no longer be a delicate subject, will no longer be somehow stigmatized. And maintaining the program would undoubtedly demonstrate that responsible mining is not just seasonal. It is not a project-based endeavor. It is not something that we will be talking about just because we want to. ASGM sector, its issues is always issue. It's everyday issue. So we should talk about it every day. But let's make sure, let's always remember that long-term media leverage is very helpful and could have a significant impact. But how does it make an impact? So first, it would change people's perspective about the ASGM. It would foster meaningful and open meaningful conversation or public discourse. And it would help our friends from the government in crafting and developing policies connected in the ASGM. And last, it would help it would help ASGM to be in the position, or it will push forward ASGM as a reliable, respectable, and somehow a ecologically sound source of income in Camarines Norte.
Thank you so much, RJ. RJ, can you also tell us more about the media kapihan sessions, communications training, and press visits to the ASGM sites, and what difference have these efforts made to how media covers the sector?
Well, generally, the media kapihan sessions, the communications training, and the regular press visits in the ASGM sites, the keyword is that it provides opportunity. It provides opportunity especially for the local media individuals and entities in the province or in Camarines Norte. Because if you would ask, local media individuals, especially in the local setting, they would probably say a lot of unpleasant, awful, or negative things about the ASGM sector. But upon the inclusion, upon the opportunity for the media people, especially local media in Camarines Norte, they had the opportunity to dig deep, to get to know more about the ASGM. So maybe the bad things, the negative things about ASGM is no longer part of or far from their reports or information. Instead, the reports they are starting to headline the transformation success stories that has been continuously happening in ASGM sector, and it would help them to highlight exceptional advocacy and solutions that support sustainable, fair, and responsible mining in Camarines Norte. These media experiences have helped them to see the other side of ASGM and the 360 transformation of ASGM. From being the talk of the town because of its bad reputation to being the talk of the town because of because a lot of people find it inspiring about the amazing action of ASGM towards the environment and towards our natural resources.
Thank you so much, RJ, for all of these important insights. Next, I direct my questions to Dr. Gurley Naval. Dr. Gurley, as an academic institution, Camarines Norte State College plays a unique role in promoting responsible ASGM. How did your partnership with the planetGOLD Philippines project actually begin, and what motivated the college to actually engage with the ASGM sector?
Good afternoon, everyone. To the dignitaries in the room, good afternoon, guests and participants. So on behalf of our college president, we would like to express we are greatly honored to be participating in this closing celebration. So our partnership with planetGOLD Philippines started 3 years ago. It was an exciting meeting with the team because as the sole state college in the province, we are mandated to do extension services. And this is for us This is a rewarding collaboration because it allows us to fulfill one of our mandates, that is to help the nation, to help the government, because we are tasked by the Commission on Higher Education to help in the nation building. So this is an education behind classroom walls. So this is a collaboration that is also part of our operational goals.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Naval. Now, also speaking of then capacity development has really been central to transforming the sector. What training and extension services has CNSC provided to small-scale miners, and how have these helped promote more responsible and safer mining practices?
As part of the trainings, as I mentioned, extension services, we included different capacity building to empower the participants, especially the women, the family, and other members of the households. The training ranges from financial literacy, business and marketing. We help them develop the market from mining community to the mainstream market. And then we also provided organizing, critical thinking, decision-making skills, helping this mining community to be more empowered in terms of talking to their clients, to markets. Those are part of the extension services given by our institution.
Yes, truly empowering programs and learnings for our small-scale miners. Now, Dr. Naval, how has the partnership with the planetGOLD Philippines project influenced then your institution's understanding or approach to ASGM and community-based development work? And has it shifted how CNSC engages with mining communities or integrates this topic into its extension work?
Honestly, this is one wake-up call for us because sometimes me and my colleagues tend to we are tempted to sway on making things easier, doing some shortcuts. Of course, we are mandated not only to teach, we are mandated to do research and to transfer these research activities in the community and helping, of course, harmonizing all these actions to the goal of the government, and that is stated in the Ambition 2040, of course. That is a very grand activity. So because of that, we are sometimes tempted to do the shortcut. But then this one is another wake-up call for us. It's not enough to do a one-time shot or one-time deal extension works. We need to be very careful to use the resources of the government to do impactful services to the community. And it must be, all our actions should be participatory, community-driven, and purpose-driven. Because at the end of the day, the government will be asking us, where have we spent all the resources they have given us? So we must be able to come up with an impactful community activity.
Thank you so much, Dr. Girly Naval, truly driving home the importance of that participation of the academe in community and nation building. And now we're going to talk to members of our Youth for Responsible Gold champion from Camarines Norte, Maricel Gacos. Hello there, Maricel. I wanted to ask you, before joining the Youth for Responsible Gold Educational Roadshow, what were your perceptions of the ASGM sector in Paracale, and how did the experience challenge or deepen your understanding of the realities and opportunities in responsible mining?
Good afternoon to all of you. I grew up in a mining community of Paracale. My parents and several relatives are miners. Small-scale mining has given us a roof over our heads and food on our table. For many of us, including my family, mining is what helped us survive. That's why, before joining the Youth for Responsible Gold Educational Roadshow, I saw mining mainly as a source of livelihood, not something to question, just something necessary. But when I joined the roadshow, I began to understand the deeper realities of the ASGM sector, the risk to the health, the environmental impact, and the struggles with formalization. These were things I somehow knew in the background, but never really had the words or space to talk about. Because when you're just trying to get by, these issues are often set aside. The roadshow opened my eyes to the fact that there are real solutions like Mercury-Free technologies and responsible mining practices, and that we, especially the youth, can be part of the change.
Definitely, you can definitely be part of the change. Now, speaking of that, as young people standing up for responsible mining, Maricel, what message would you like to share with fellow youth across the country about why it matters to get involved in shaping the future of the ASGM sector?
To my fellow youth, especially to those of us raised by the hands and the mind is gold, never underestimate the power of your voice, especially when it comes to something as important as responsible mining. If we want to shape a better future for the next generation, we must never stop learning, never stop seeking knowledge and exposing yourself to the opportunities that you can use to help create positive change in the ASGM sector. Even if we're not the ones going underground, we are still part of these communities. The decisions made today about mining will impact our environment, our health, our families, and our future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Marisol. Such powerful words. All right, and now we're going to talk to our Youth for Responsible Gold champion from the Mountain Province, Rainer Ligayo. Rainer, in Sagada, mining is deeply connected to culture, to tradition, and of course, the environment. How was your participation in the Youth for Responsible Gold Educational Roadshow deepen your understanding of the ASGM sector and also strengthen your commitment to protecting both your community's heritage and the future of responsible mining in your area?
So thank you for that question. I am happy and very glad that I joined the Youth for Responsible Gold Educational Roadshow. It was an incredible opportunity that I gained a deeper understanding of what responsible mining truly means. I saw that it is possible to honor our traditions and protect the environment and still continue mining. Mining can be done responsibly, and I believe that it begins with knowledge. And because I have this knowledge, I have now the responsibility to share it to my community. I also realized that young people like me have a role to play, not just in raising awareness, but in bridging the gap between old practices and new solutions. The experience made me more proud of my roots and more determined to help ensure that Sagada's mining practices remain safe, responsible, and respectful both to our community, the environment, and our traditions.
Thank you, Rainer. Now, yes, it was wonderful standing in that gap between the old practices and, of course, new technologies. Now, Rainer, as a young person standing up for responsible mining, what message would you like to share with fellow youth across the country about why it matters to get involved in shaping the future of the ASGM sector?
Okay. To my fellow youth, especially my fellow Isagada, as young people, we are often told that the future is in our hands, that we are the future. But when it comes to mining in our communities, that future is already taking shape today. That's why we need to be part of the conversations and decisions now. Responsible mining isn't just about improving techniques or following new rules. It's about making sure our environment, culture, and communities are protected for the long term. We may not be miners ourselves, but we live in these places, and we see the effects, and we have the energy, the ideas, the voice to push for better solutions. So my message to other youth is that we should not stay on the sidelines. Learn as much as you can, ask questions, and speak up. Because when we get involved, we help create a future where development and tradition can go hand in hand. where mining can be both responsible and respectful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, such beautiful, powerful words from the youth. Not just the future of the nation, but their participation and impact starts now, just as Rainer has shared. All right. Thank you so much. Changing narratives is as important as changing systems. Thank you so much to our panelists. Please feel free to return to your seats. All right, everyone, we now proceed to a cross-cutting component that helps shape the Planet Gold Philippines project, its commitment to gender equality. Our next segment, Amplifying the Visibility and Voice of Women Miners, highlights how the project championed women as leaders, as decision makers, and champions of responsible mining. From research and policy engagement to training, also creative advocacy and institution building, the gender component was embedded across every phase of the project. Now let's take a closer look at this play video.
In the world of artisanal and small-scale gold mining, the gold is visible, especially its tremendous value. But the miners, not always. And the women miners, even more invisible. Out of the estimated 500,000 workers in the ASGM sector in the Philippines, only around 18,000 are women and children. But that figure is not actually low. It tells a bigger story of how women's labor, leadership, and voices in this sector remain overwhelmingly unseen and unheard. But change is happening.
Before, many of us worked quietly in the background, our struggles invisible. But through the Planet Gold Philippines project, we found the courage to step forward. We're not just helpers anymore, we are leaders.
Dati ako ay tagaluto, tagalaba, pero ngayon, may busis na ako sa samahan. Natutunan ko kung paano magsalita at mamuno.
Akala ko noon hanggang bahay lang ako, pero ngayon nagtuturo ako sa kapwa minero kung paano maging ligtas at responsable sa pagmimina. Ibang pakiramdam ang maririnig at mapaniwalaan.
Ang gusto ko sa Mina Minera Storybook na ginawa ng Planet Gold Philippines ay pinakikita nito ang totoong kwento ng mga babaeng minera tulad ko. Ang aming mga pagsubok at pangarap, nakikita na ngayon ang ginagawa namin at mahalaga yon.
Matagal kaming hindi nakita, hindi pinansin, tinatawag lang kaming backers. Hindi raw kami minero. Pero sa tulong ng Planet Gold Philippines Project, nagbago ang aming pananaw. Na-realize naming minero kami, babaeng minero. At ngayon, unti-unti na rin kinikilala ang ambag namin sa sektor.
Dahil sa Mercury-Free Processing System Training ng Planet Gold Philippines, natutunan namin gumamit ng mas ligtas na paraan ng pagproseso ng ore. Yung hindi makakasama sa kalusugan at kalikasan. Ngayon, mga babae nang nangunguna sa responsableng pagmimini.
I didn't know much about women miners before. Now, I see their strength and courage. The Planet Gold Philippines project shows us that mining is for everyone and that women can lead change.
Minero ang nanay ko. Dati, hindi ko talaga naiintindihan ang trabaho niya. Pero ngayon, dahil sa IEC materials, storybook at mga aktibidad sa school ng proyekto, nakita ko kung gaano siya kalakas at kahalaga. Hindi lang para sa amin, kundi para sa buong komunidad.
The Gender Roundtable meetings and the gender study by Planet Gold Philippines truly opened our eyes. One key takeaway was the importance of forming a council for women in the informal economy, including the mining sector, because women miners also play a crucial role in protecting the environment and supporting livelihoods.
We partnered with the Planet Gold Philippines project to
to establish an interagency council for women's workers in the informal economy in our municipality. This council strengthens women's leadership and help us address gender-specific issues in ASGM more effectively.
The project's gender component reminds us that responsible mining must be inclusive mining. Women's voices are essential in building a just and responsible ASGM sector.
Through the project's partnership, we conducted various training sessions for women miners, teaching them how to prepare and analyze financial statements, manage finances, and formalize their associations. This is empowerment in action.
What the project gave us was more than just resources or training. It gave us the community to understand ourselves more deeply, to realize that we matter as women, that we have the power to help build a stronger, more inclusive community.
Once overlooked and unheard, women's miners are now claiming their space. They are organizers. They are educators. They are protectors of their land and leaders of their communities. They are proud, responsible miners.
At Planet Gold Philippines Project, we believe that when we recognize and support women miners, we don't just honor their labor. We make the ASGM sector stronger, safer, and more just.
All right. And now we would like to welcome our panelists for this discussion. We have the Municipal Councilor from Paracale, Camarines Norte, Councilor Bernadette Asutilla. We are also welcoming here on stage from the Mines and Geosciences Bureau of CAR, Ms. Sheila May V. Sankey, PhD. And from the small-scale gold miner she is a small-scale gold miner and a barangay leader, Kagawad Lainey Abanes. Very excited to have this discussion with these women. All right. Welcome to our panelists. Thank you so much for being here. I will start off with questions for Councilor Bernadette Asutilla. Councilor Bernadette, you've been one of the project's strongest champions in Paracale, especially in organizing women in the informal economy. Can you share how your collaboration with the Planet Gold project helped shape or strengthen the creation of the Interagency Council for Women Workers in the informal economy?
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I first heard about Planet Gold Philippines and its goal for long-term development of the artisanal and small-scale gold mining, or ASGM, in 2021, when they conducted baseline study in our areas with an end objective of reducing, if not eliminating, mercury, which, as we know, pose health hazards to humans, both men, women, and of course children, and environmental degradation too. Planet Gold, through capacity building seminar of small-scale miners as a group, facilitated access to ASGM gold supply chains from the private sector, the academe, and the government. So now, a mercury-free gold processing and recovery plant stood at Barangay Kasalugan, the operation of which has been turned over to the legally organized samahan ng mga minero ng Barangay Kasalugan. And our local government unit encourages the formation of cooperatives, organizations, and non-government organizations. And we abide by the provisions of the Gender and Development Program that aims to address gender inequalities and promote the empowerment of women and other marginalized sectors. The Planet Gold baseline study on ASGM scale mining, which is a male-dominated livelihood industry, with the increasing price of gold, soon women will seek her place in the industry. And at this stage, the local government unit of Baracale, through our local chief executive, issued an executive order number 25, creating the interagency of women sectors in the informal economy. And soon, the Sangguniang Bayan will institutionalize this council through the passage of an ordinance.
That's wonderful to hear about the institutionalization of this council. Now, Councilor, from your engagement in the project, from policy dialogues to the documentary films, photo exhibits, and even a youth roadshow, what do you see as its most meaningful contributions to improving the visibility and protection of women miners and processors in Paracale?
Well, the most meaningful contribution of Planet Gold is the knowledge and education that has been imparted. And as a woman empowerment, as an advocate of women empowerment, with the Planet Gold, capacitating our women miners in Paracale, it's such parang mas nakakatuwa para sa akin na makita these women miners that before they're just behind the scene dahil yung mga lalaki talaga yung bida pagdating sa minahan. But now, they are just before a community members, but now they are barangay leaders. Some of them are barangay officials in the barangay Kasalugan.
Yeah, so talagang empowerment from helpers to leaders and key contributors in their community. Now, looking back, Councilor, what key lessons or realizations emerged from working with the Planet Gold project that you think LGUs and other stakeholders should carry forward beyond the project's life?
Indeed, Planet Gold has done a lot as far as I know. Marami nang nagtangka na i-address ang issue ng mercury sa bayan ng Paracale. Pero sa aking pagkakaalam, yung Planet Gold ang mag-iiwan ng isang magandang legacy to our miners. It's an eye-opener for all of us, including the local government unit of Paracale, that it's about time that the LGU will take the front seat para namin ipagpatuloy yung nasimulan ng Planet Gold. And also, with the tripartite agreement signed by the local government unit of Paracale, the Barangay Council of Barangay Kasalugan, and the Samahan ng mga Minero ng Barangay Kasalugan, all the responsibilities na iiwan ng Planet Gold sa amin. Sana yun ang maipagpatuloy to make it sustainable, and of course, sana mas mapakinabangan ng SMBC, Samahan ng mga Minero, and also maipagpatuloy ng buong pamayan, especially ng Barangay Kasalugan. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much for that, Councilor Bernadette Asutilia. Next, my next set of questions are for Ms. Sheila May Sankey of the Mines and Geosciences Bureau of CAR. Ms. Sheila, as the Gender and Development Focal of MGB CAR, you've worked very closely with the project in mainstreaming gender in the ASGM sector in your region. How did Planet Gold Project support your agency's efforts in identifying and addressing the specific needs and roles of women miners in Sagada and in the Cordillera region?
In behalf of the Mines and Geosciences Bureau CAR family, of our former Regional Director Faye Apil, and our new Regional Director Socrates Gerlan, we would like to thank Planet Gold for playing a significant role in helping us understand and respond to the realities of women in the ASGM sector, especially in places like Sagada, where traditions and roles are very unique. The project guided us in using gender analysis tools and participatory approaches so we could really listen to the stories of women miners, what they do, what they go through,
and what support they need. We often assume mining is a male-dominated activity. But what we saw through the project was that women are just as engaged, processing ore, managing finances, even supporting environmental protection efforts. The difference is their work is often unpaid or invisible. But through Planet Gold support, we were able to highlight these roles and start tailoring our programs to make sure women are included, protected, and empowered.
Thank you so much for this. Now, Ms. Sheila, the project supported several gender-focused initiatives in Sagada and also beyond, including capacity-building activities and learning exchanges like the Gender Forum. From your perspective, what impact have these had on how government agencies and also communities view the role of women in the ASGM sector?
One of the biggest changes we've seen is awareness, both from government agencies and from within the communities themselves. When we held the Gender Forum, for example, many of us were surprised by how confidently the women spoke about their roles, their challenges, and even their solutions. It helped shift mindsets. Before, women were mostly seen as just helping their husbands or doing background work. Now, there's a growing recognition that women are central to the ASGM economy. We have seen local officials become more open to including women in consultations, in trainings, and most especially in leadership roles. It's still a journey, but we would like to say the Gender Forum and other capacity building activities started important conversations that are now leading to real action.
Thank you so much. That's such a beautiful sharing that these women have a voice and they just need to be given that platform to share their stories and experiences. Ma'am Sheila, in your view, what key strategies or approaches from the project should be sustained or even scaled up so that we are able to continue empowering women in the ASGM communities like Sagada?
First, we need to sustain the capacity building efforts, especially gender-sensitive trainings that include both women miners and the agencies working with them. There's still a lot of work to do in terms of mindset, but we've seen that learning together really helps build mutual respect and understanding. Second, we should continue creating platforms where women can speak and lead, like the gender forums. We have this in the Cordillera. We do this every year, the Cordillera Minera Forum. When women feel heard and respected, they step up and help drive change in their communities. And finally, we need to integrate gender in our monitoring systems. It's important that we're not just ticking boxes if we want long-term change. We have to track how our programs are actually improving the lives of women and their families. At the end of the day, empowering women in ASGM isn't about fairness, equality, or equity. It's about building stronger and more sustainable communities.
Thank you so much for this, Ms. Sheila May Sankey, PhD from the Mines and Geosciences Bureau of CAR. All right, and lastly, we talked to small-scale gold miner and barangay leader Kagawad Lainey Abanes. Kagawad, as a woman miner, your voice was part of many project activities, from interviews and forums to the photo exhibit that also featured your story. How has the Planet Gold project helped you feel seen, supported, or better understood?
Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. Alam niyo po, sa totoo lang, pakiramdam ko parang naging talagang party kami na Planet Gold. Hindi lang sila basta nagtanong, talagang naglaan sila ng oras at panahon para sa amin. Through interviews, FGDS, tuwing bumibisita sila sa Paracale, ramdam ko na gusto talaga nilang maintindihan kung ang buhay namin bilang mga minera. Lalo kung naramdaman yung noong nabasa yung storybook at narinig namin yung kantang ginawa nila. Para ako yung mismong nagsulat noon. Nakakatakot sa tuwa kasi parang wow, narinig nila kami. Malaking bagay din yung mga training na binigay nila sa amin tulad ng livelihood, financial literacy, and entrepreneurship. Hindi lang basta dagdag kaalaman yun para sa amin, kundi naging tools upang mapaunlad namin ang aming kaalaman at ang aming hanap buhay. Parang sinabi rin nila na hindi lang kami bilang mga miners, kundi kaya naming maging isang negosyante, maging leader, at maging modelo sa komunidad. Pero higit sa lahat, ang pinaka-importante sa akin ay yung respeto at tiwala na binigay nila sa amin. Nakita nila kami bilang hindi lang isang benepisyaryo, kundi bilang mga partner sa pagbabago. At dahil doon nabuo sa akin ang lakas ng loob, kaya nandito ako ngayon, dala ang lakas ng loob at nakatayo sa inyong harapan at proud na maging bahagi ng Planet Gold Journey.
Maraming salamat. Ma'am Lainey, what would you say to other women miners about the importance of speaking up, organizing, and working with projects like Planet Gold to improve their lives and livelihoods?
Ang masasabi ko lang bilang isang babae, maniwala tayo sa ating sarili, mahalaga tayo, mahalaga ang ginagawa natin, mahalaga ang boses natin. Kapag nagsama-sama tayo, nagkaisa ang ating mga boses, mas malakas, mas naririnig, at mas may epekto. Kaya kung may pagkakataon kayong maging proyekto o makasali sa proyekto tulad ng Planet Gold, yung may malasakit at handang makinig, grab nyo na. Huwag tayong matakot, makipag-ugnay na makiisa, dahil sa huli tayo rin ang makikinabang. Mas magiging matibay ang kabuhayan natin, mas magiging maayos ang kinabukasan ng pamilya natin, at makikilala ang tunay na halaga ng kababaihan sa sektor ng small-scale gold mining.
Very well said. Thank you so much. At maraming salamat sa ating panelists for your wonderful sharings and insights. You may take your seats. Definitely, everyone, amplifying the voices of women miners is not a side note. As was said, it's not just boxes that we take off. It's vital, it's very important, and it's a necessary part of building a just, inclusive, and responsible ASGM sector. All right, everybody, after those invaluable panel discussions, we now move on to one of today's most meaningful moments, which is the turnover of knowledge products. These resources reflect the core of our mission, which is to institutionalize a Mercury-Free and responsible ASGM sector, and also to sustain the gains of the Planet Gold Philippines project. These ceremonial handovers mark the formal transfer of key learning materials developed by the project to our partners. So let us begin the ceremony. Our first knowledge product is the Facilitator's Manual for ASGM training in the Philippines. And this is a landmark resource that brings together the training modules, approaches, and strategies developed under the Planet Gold Philippines project. This manual is intended for government agencies and educators who are committed to scaling up support for the development of small-scale miners. Organized into 5 thematic modules, the guide covers legal framework and formalization, business management, investor relations and leadership, occupational health and safety, environmental and tailings facility management, gender mainstreaming in ASGM. Now, to lead the ceremonial handover, we'd like to call on the National Monitoring and Evaluation Specialist of AGC Philippines for the Planet Gold Philippines project, Ms. Mildred Arucan. Welcome, Ms. Mildred. May we now ask all of our national and local government partners to please join us for this turnover ceremony. The Camarines Norte State College. Also, the Mines and Geosciences Bureau Central Office. Welcome to our partners, and receiving on behalf of our implementing institutions and local government partners is the Director of DENR Foreign Assisted and Special Project Services, Director Al Orolfo. Welcome, sir. All right. And without further ado, Ms. Arucan, please hand over the facilitator's manual for ASGM training in the Philippines to Mr. Orolfo. And there you have it, the official turnover of the Facilitator's Manual. This is a resource built from years of on-ground work, research, and collaboration, now in the hands of our national and local government partners who will take it even further. Let's give our partners a big round of applause. Congratulations. Thank you once again, partners. Ms. Arucan and Director Orolfo, you may now return to your seats. Up next, everyone, as part of the planetGOLD Philippines project, 2 original children's storybooks were developed, namely Mina Minera and Si Miko Maya at ang Ginintuang Lambak. These stories introduce responsible mining practices and environmental awareness to young learners in an age-appropriate and creative way. To lead the ceremonial handover, we'd like to call on our presenters. The support staff of the Mines and Geosciences Bureau, Ms. Nika Peña. And we'd also like to call in the National Communications Officer of AGC Philippines for the planetGOLD Philippines project, Ms. Dawn Po Kimke. Welcome. At this point, may we ask all of our education and youth development partners to please join us here on stage. Principal Fidelisan Elementary School. We'd also like to call in the Principal Alfonso Dasco Elementary School. Principal, yes. Calling also Ezekiel Ngagan, student of Bangaan National High School. And Ria May Mostaza, student of Gumaos National High School. And now receiving on behalf of our youth development and educational partners from Gumaos National High School, Ria May Mostaza will receive Mina Minera, which is a bilingual storybook available in both English and Kankanaey, reflecting the project's commitment to cultural inclusion and local engagement in mining communities. All right. And from Bangaan National High School, Ezekiel Ngagan will receive Si Miko Maya at ang Ginintuang Lambak. All right. So Ms. Po Kimke and Ms. Peña have passed on the storybooks, of course, to Ria and Ezekiel. Our children's storybooks are now officially turned over, planting the seeds of responsible mining and environmental stewardship in the hearts of our future leaders. Maraming salamat. Let's give them a round of applause. Maraming salamat, Ms. Kimke, Ms. Peña, and of course to our young representatives, Ria and Ezekiel. And to our principals as well, you may now return to our seats. We now proceed with the ceremonial turnover of the operations manual of the Mercury-Free processing system, a key output that guides the safe, efficient, and sustainable use of mercury-free technologies in small-scale mining. Now, this manual ensures that our partners in Sagada and Paracale can manage and maintain the MFPS facilities with full knowledge and also with shared accountability. We begin with Paracale. To lead the turnover, may we call on the Field Coordinator of AGC Philippines for Paracale, Ms. Joy Sidro. Alright, and receiving on behalf of the Samahan ng mga Minero sa Barangay Kasalugan, may we call on Mr. Vicente Almeda. Welcome, sir. So, Ms. Sidro, you may now proceed with the official turnover. All right. So again, everybody, we are here in the midst of our ceremonial turnover. And we have Ms. Sidro, of course, being ready to hand over these items. Of course, for our ceremonial turnover of our knowledge products, this is really to pass on all of these knowledge items, thus promoting the sustainability of all of the gains of the Planet Gold project. All right, everyone. So here we are. We also want to acknowledge from DENR Central, the Undersecretary for Field Operations, Luzon, Visayas, and Environment, the Office of the Undersecretary for Field Operations, Attorney Juan Miguel Cuna. Thank you so much for being here with us today. All right, and here, let's give them a round of applause. All right. Ms. Sidro, of course, has already proceeded with the official turnover. So now we move on to Sagada. To lead this turnover, we invite the Field Coordinator of AGC Philippines for Sagada, Ms. Carmen Malabong. And also receiving on behalf of the Northern Sagada Barangay Small Scale Mining Association, Inc., may we call on Ms. Harriet Reyla. Welcome. Ms. Malabong, you may now proceed with the official turnover. All right, let's give them a round of applause. Now, everyone, with the turnover of the operations manual done, we have made it official. The ensured long-term viability of mercury-free gold processing in both Paracale and Sagada, equipping our local mining associations with the tools and the knowledge to lead responsible mining. Congratulations, everyone. Also, a big round of applause again to all of those that participated in our turnover of knowledge products. finally, everyone, we turn over the gold we choose, paving a way for a Mercury-Free and empowered ASGM in the Philippines, which is the official coffee table book of the planetGOLD Philippines project. So this publication explores the legacy of the planetGOLD Philippines project, capturing its milestones, partnerships, the ground, striking images of change, and the voices of miners, leaders, and communities. This book honors a sector often overlooked, yet vital, of course, to both local and national economies. Now, to lead this ceremonial handover, we'd like to call on the National Project Manager of AGC Philippines for the planetGOLD Philippines project, Ms. Abigail Ocate. All right, welcome, Ms. Abby. We'd now like to ask all our institutional, academic, and media partners to please join us. BSP Central Office. Also, the MGB Central Office. The Baguio Chronicle. Gumaus National High School. Samahan ng mga minero sa Barangay Kasalugan. And the Northern Sagada Barangay Small Scale Miners Association Incorporated. Please join us here on stage. Receiving on behalf of our institutional partners, educational institutions, government agencies, mining communities, and media allies is the Undersecretary of the DENR, Juan Miguel Cuna. And Ms. Ocate is now handing over the coffee table book to Undersecretary Cuna. All right, we're handing out more copies of our coffee table book for our partners. All right, with that, everybody, we officially close the ceremonial turnover of all of the knowledge products, resources that reflect not just what we've done, but also how far we've come. From technical manuals to children's storybooks, and finally to the gold we choose, our original coffee table book that captures the legacy of this journey. Thank you so much. Let's give another round of applause to all of our partners who will carry these forward. At this point, we take a moment to recognize and honor the invaluable institutions and partners who have significantly contributed to the success of the planetGOLD Philippines project. Now, to lead this awarding and present our plaques of appreciation from the Department of the Environment and Natural Resources, may we call on Undersecretary Jonas R. Leones, Undersecretary Annalisa Te, All right, and incidentally, this just in with regard to our coffee table book. For those that received it, please do not open just yet. So you can open it a little later. Because it was just fresh off the presses, so you can open it tomorrow. So hold on to it, treasure it, and then come tomorrow, you can relish the opening of the coffee table books. Thank you so much. All right. But before we proceed with the awarding, allow me then to read the content of the plaque of recognition. This plaque of recognition is presented to implementing agencies and partners for their invaluable contribution and also collaboration and steadfast partnership in advancing the goals of the planetGOLD Philippines project in support of a safer, cleaner, and more responsible artisanal and small-scale gold mining ASGM sector. Awarded this first day of July 2025 at Seda Manila Bay Hotel, Parañaque City, Metro Manila, Philippines. All right, so let's now begin with the awarding, starting with our implementing agencies whose steadfast commitment brought the project's vision to reality. May we call on the following agencies to please come forward to receive your plaques. The Mines and Geosciences Bureau Central Office. Next is the Mines and first up rather is the Mines and Geosciences Bureau Cordillera Administrative Region. All right. The Mines and Geosciences Bureau Region 5. Environmental Management Bureau, EMB. The Foreign Assisted and Special Project Service. All right, and we will take a group picture. Thank you and congratulations to our partners. All right, so next we will now honor our implementing partners from the government, local communities, academia, private sector, health, media, and civil society who have stood alongside us to institutionalize and sustain the gains of the project. And now we'd like to call on Ms. Rocio Fernandez of UNEP and Ms. Lai Hua of UNIDO to help award the plaques. And now we'd like to call in the Provincial Local Government Unit of Mountain Province. The Provincial Local Government Unit of Camarines Norte. The Municipal Government of Paracale. Barangay Kasalugan, Paracale. Next up, we bestow plaques of appreciation to our partners from the academe and schools. Camarines Norte State College. Bangaan National High School. Gumaos National High School. Fidelisan Elementary School. Alfonso Dasco Elementary School. Next up, we'd like to bestow a plaque of appreciation to our partner from the health sector, East Avenue Medical Center. Now we move on to our partners from the financial sector and private organizations. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, North Luzon. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, South Luzon. Also our partner from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. PJ Luillier Incorporated. We'd like to honor our partners from the media sector, Radio Pilipinas Camarines Norte. And Radio Pilipinas Bontoc. Thank you so much to Ms. Rocio Fernandez and Ms. Lai Hua. Thank you so much for helping us award the plaques. You may now take your seats. And to help us, okay, we'll take photos first. All right. Ms. Rocio and Ms. Lai, yes, having you again for the photos. All right. Welcome, sir. We'd like to call in the Department of Labor and Employment. Once again, we'd like to acknowledge and award a plaque of appreciation to our partners from the Department of Labor and Employment. Next, also we'd like to award a plaque of appreciation to our partners from the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples. Up next, we'd like to show our appreciation for the Department of the Interior and Local Government. We again would like to show our appreciation for our partners from the Department of the Interior and Local Government. And also showing our appreciation to the Department of Economy, Planning, and Development. Next, we will bestow plaques of appreciation to Mining Association partners. Starting off with the National Coalition of Small-Scale Miners of the Philippines Incorporated. Next, we'd like to acknowledge our partners from the Northern Sagada Barangay Small Scale Mining Association Incorporated. And acknowledging our partners from the Samahan ng mga Minero sa Barangay Kasalugan. All right, thank you so much to our partners. We'll just take a few more photos. All right. Thank you so much to our partners, and thank you, Mr. Rajay Tiso, for helping us award the plaques of recognition and appreciation. Everyone, we now move on to a special moment of recognition. Our next plaques are conferred to our key project partners whose leadership, strategic direction, and global expertise have been instrumental in realizing the planetGOLD Philippines project. Our first honoree. All right, so allow me first to read, of course, what is in the plaque. So we will be reading the content of the plaque in just a little bit. Okay, our honoree is the lead agency of the global planetGOLD program. Now, UNEP ensured that the project's vision remained aligned with the international environmental goals while also bringing visibility to the Philippine experience in the global dialogue. Now, on behalf of the United Nations Environment Program, may we call on UNEP's task manager for planetGOLD Mongolia Philippines to join us again on stage, Ms. Rocio Fernandez, to receive this plaque of recognition. Okay, we'd like to ask Yusek Kuna to please join us on stage. Once again, DNR Undersecretary Yusek Kuna to please join us on stage to award the plaque. Thank you for joining us, Yusek. Allow me to read the citation on the plaque as this is awarded. This plaque of recognition is presented to the United Nations Environment Program for its invaluable contribution to the artisanal and small-scale gold mining ASGM sector in the Philippines and its critical role in the successful implementation of the planetGOLD Philippines project. Achieved in partnership with the Global Environmental Facility, or GEF, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the Mines and Geosciences Bureau, and the Artisanal Gold Council. Awarded this first day of July 2025 at Seda Manila Bay Hotel, Parañaque City, Metro Manila, Philippines. Thank you so much, and congratulations to Ms. Rocio Fernandez. Okay, Yusek Kuna will need you to stay here on stage as we award the next few plaques. Our next honoree served as the project's technical lead, ensuring that global best practices were transformed into local, scalable solutions for Mercury-Free technologies to inclusive capacity building. On behalf of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, may we call on Country Representative of UNIDO to the Philippines, Mr. Teddy Monroy, accompanied by UNIDO Project Administrator Ms. Lai Hua, to receive this plaque of recognition. Allow me to read the citation. This plaque of recognition is presented to the United Nations Industrial Development Organization for its invaluable contribution to the artisanal and small-scale gold mining sector in the Philippines and its critical role in the successful implementation of the planetGOLD Philippines project. Achieved in partnership with the Global Environment Facility, GEF, the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the Mines and Geosciences Bureau, and the Artisanal Gold Council. Awarded, of course, this first day of July 2025 at Seda Manila Bay Hotel, Parañaque City, Metro Manila, Philippines. Congratulations! This time, in gratitude for their partnership, UNIDO and UNEP will now present the plaque of appreciation to the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, which served as the lead government agency and coordinating body of the planetGOLD Philippines project. So allow me to read this citation. This plaque of recognition is presented to the Department of Environment and Natural Resources for its invaluable contribution to the artisanal and small-scale gold mining sector in the Philippines and its critical role in the successful implementation of the planetGOLD Philippines project, achieved in partnership with the Global Environment Facility, the United Nations Environment Program, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, and the Artisanal Gold Council. Awarded this first day of July 2025 at Seda Manila Bay Hotel, Parañaque City, Metro Manila, Philippines. So we have with us Ms. Rocio Fernandez, Ms. Lai Hua, the UNEP and UNIDO, and of course Ms. Abigail Ocate. And we are presenting this plaque of appreciation to Undersecretary Cuna. And a round of applause for our key partners and our special awardees. This moment right here captures what the planetGOLD Philippines project is all about, and this is a shared vision, shared action, and shared victory. To our project partners, thank you so much for believing in the potential of the Philippines and for subsequently leading the way towards a mercury-free, responsible, small-scale gold mining industry. And of course, to our implementing partners across national government, local government units, civil society, academe, media, the private sector, and our mining communities. Thank you so much for turning this vision into reality on the ground. So we are going to commemorate and immortalize this extraordinary convergence with a photo opportunity. So I believe this will have our photographers up on stage, and we'll ask everybody to stand up. All right, for our photo opportunity. So we'll be taking the perspective again from the stage area. So everybody, you can all stand up, and we can move towards the center to make sure that we are inside the frame. Also, to our special guests, our VIPs and honorees, please come to the front. Everybody else, you can come towards the center to make sure that you are not so far and that we can see your faces clearly within the frame, because your presence and all of your support and hard work throughout this project truly made a difference. All right, everybody, and we'll just be doing a test shot. Once again, calling, yes, everybody to please compress. You can come closer to make sure that you are seen and you are within the frame. All right, so again, to those in the back, you can come forward. I believe there's some space over here. All right. All right, smile, wave your hands, guys. And compress. Yes, you can wave your hands, do a thumbs up, a Korean heart, that's also okay. All right, thank you so much, everybody. You may now return to your seats. Truly kudos to everyone for the vision, mutual trust, and unwavering commitment to transform the ASGM sector for the better. Congratulations, everyone. Indeed, we can truly make Mercury history. Now, this time, we will now hear from two voices representing the small-scale mining associations that have been instrumental in this journey. Delivering a message on behalf of the President of the Samahan ng mga Minero sa Barangay Kasalugan or SMBC and also the Barangay Captain of Barangay Kasalugan, Paracale, Camarines Norte. Please welcome Mr. Denver Suzara. Represented by Vic Almeda.
Before anything else, President Denver Suzara would like to extend his apologies as he could not attend this momentous event. On behalf of President Denver, I am Kagawad Vic Almeda from the SMBC Board of Directors. Allow me to read his speech for this celebration. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Denver Suzara mula sa Barangay Kasalugan, Paracale, at Presidente ng Samahan ng mga Minero. Sa ngalan ng aming samahan at komunidad, taos puso po kami nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng bumubuo ng Planet Gold Philippines Project. Sa UNEP, UNIDO, DNR, MGB, sa Artisanal Gold Council, at sa lahat ng partner agencies, LGUs at organization na sumusuporta sa amin. Ngayong opisyal nang nagsasara ang proyektong ito, gusto ko pong sabihin na ang Planet Gold ay hindi lang proyekto sa amin. Ito ay naging parte na ng buhay namin. Simula pa nung una, hindi lang kami tinuruan. Pinakinggan kami, sinamahan kami, at pinaniwalaan kami. Nagsimula kami sa paggamit ng asugi, iyon ang naging aming kasanayan. Iyon ang aming naging paraan. Pero ipinakita sa amin ng Planet Gold na may mas ligtas, mas malinis, at mas makataong paraan ng pagmimina. Sa tulong ninyo, ngayon ay may Mercury-Free processing system na kami sa Paracale. May kagamitan, kaalaman, at kumpiyansa na kami para ipagpatuloy ang responsableng pagmimina. Pati ang aming pamilya, kababayan at kabataan ay naging bahagi ng advokasya para sa isang responsableng pagmimina. Ngayong tapos na ang proyekto, hindi ibig sabihin tapos na rin ang aming paglalakbay. Sa totoo lang, dito pa lang mas nagsisimula. Bilang presidente ng SMBC, sisiguraduhin ko na ang mga natutunan namin at mga naumpisang namin ay hindi lang magpapatuloy, kundi mas lalo pang lalawak at lalaki ang epekto. Nung una akong tinanong kung ano ang pangarap ko para sa aming mga minero, simple lang po ang aking sinagot, magkaroon ng bahay ang bawat minero. Pero ngayon, may bago na akong idadagdag sa pangarap na yun, na may uuwi sa bahay na yun na ligtas, malusog at may digdidad ang trabaho. Sa Planet Gold Philippines, salamat po sa pagtupad ng pangarap naming mga minero. Maraming salamat po At sana magpatuloy pa ang mga ganitong proyekto. Hindi lang sa Paracali, kundi sa lahat ng lugar kung saan may mga mineral na nangangarap din ng mas mabuting bukas. Mabuhay po ang responsableng pagmimina. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Vic Almeda. Thank you for sharing your message with us today. And now, everyone, we will hear from the president of the Northern Sagada Barangay Small Scale Mining Association Incorporated. Please join me in warmly welcoming on stage Mr. Joseph Patilao.
Naimbag nga malam kada tayo amin. Good afternoon to every present, our partners from the planetGOLD Philippines, Artisanal Gold Council, the DNR MGB, the local government of Paracali, Camarines Norte, and Sagada Mountain Province, our partners from national government agencies, fellow miners, elders, and other ASGM stakeholders. As the president of NBS ISMAI, or Northern Sagada Barangay Small Scale Mining Incorporated, it is both an honor and a heartfelt moment to speak before you today as we formally close the important chapter in our journey. First and foremost, we express our deepest gratitude to the whole team of planetGOLD Philippines project. Your support has reached not only our mining operation, but also made significant impact in our lives through trainings, equipment, technical assistance, and most importantly, the trust you placed in us. You believe that a small-scale mining community like ours, rooted in tradition, guided by indigenous wisdom, could lead the way in improving the responsible and mercury mining is possible. We are also grateful to the DNR MGB for their consistent guidance and the provincial local government units for providing by our sides as we transform how we mine, how we organize, and how we care for the environment. This project brought with it many milestones: the installation and optimization of Mercury-Free processing system, or what we call MFPS, has strengthened our commitment to safer and more environmentally responsible mining. It has helped us improve our practices and ensure what we continue protecting our rivers, our health, and our community. We underwent training in health and safety mine rescue, accounting and business planning, equipping us not just as miners, but as a future entrepreneur leaders. We participated in meaningful dialogues on danger and environmental responsibility, reminding us that everyone, including women and elders, has a role in shaping the future of our industry. But perhaps most importantly, this project helped us reconnect mining with our cultural values, our belief in sacredness of the land, the strength of the community, and our duty to care for the generation that come after us. Now that the project is ending, we know that the real work begins. The equipment, the training, the networks, these are all tools. But the responsibility continue lies with us. We commit to uphold mercury-free practices. We will protect our watersheds, care for our forests, and respect sacred places. We will continue to strengthen our association, improve the way we manage our operations, and move toward formalization and sustainability. And we will share what we learned, not just with fellow miners in Sagada, but with our community as well. This project may be coming to an end, but our commitment remains. To our partners, we thank you for walking this path with us. To our fellow miners, let us carry this forward with integrity, unity, and deep respect for our culture and our land. As Igorots, we are people of the mountain, raised with deep respect for nature. We know how to live in balance with the land. Let us carry the balance forward, stronger, wiser, prouder of the work we do. Maraming salamat po. Agyaman ako na kada kayo. To everyone who believe in us, this is not goodbye. This is a new beginning. Agtultuloy tayo nga agtrabaho para iti nasaya at apanagminas ken naprotektaran a kinapudno ken kinapateg ti daga tayo. Diyos ti agngina, thank you, and may we all continue to mine responsibly, live sustainably, and lead with dignity.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Joseph Patilao. Thank you for those powerful words. Indeed, at the heart of the Planet Gold Philippines project are the very communities who live this reality every day. Those who mine not only for gold, but for dignity, for safety, and the future. We'd also now like to take this time to acknowledge the presence of the DENR Undersecretary for Finance, Information Systems, and Climate Change and GEF Operational Focal Point, Attorney Annalisa Te. Thank you, ma'am, for your presence this afternoon. Moving on, as a tribute to that spirit, we now honor the strength and stories of women miners in Sagada and Paracale through a special song performance called Isulong ang Pagkilos. The lyrics will be flashed on screen, so please do participate and sing along and let the message of the song move you. Ladies and gentlemen, from AGC Philippines, please welcome Meggy Katigbak and Nicole Rivera.
Sa inyong pagising sa umaga, pagkain at damit nyo'y nakahanda. Hindi nyo ba naisip at kinilala ang nagsikap para ito'y magawa? Kami ginto ng lupang tinubuan, pundasyon ng inang bayan. Samahan kami at naway maunawaan ang aming halaga sa ating bayan. Isulong ang pagkilos, kaming kababaihan, kasi Kasapi mo sa laban, sa pagunlad ng ating bayan. Isulong ang pagkilos para sa pagbabago, para sa lahat ng tao. Isulong ang trabaho. Responsibilidad na pinaako, parang sa bahay ako ay pinako. Ngunit di alam ng nakararami, nakapagtrabaho sa lahat ng dako. Ako'y nasa bahay at sa lansangan, ako ay minera sa minahan. Ako'y nasa bawat sulok ng sambayanan, ang kailangan mo'y aking ipaglalaban. Isulong ang pagkilos, kaming kababaihan. Kasabi mo sa laban, sa pagunlad ng ating bayan. Isulong ang pagkilos para sa pagbabago, para sa lahat ng tao. Isulong ang trabaho. Let's go, AGC! Babae ako, minero ako, di nyo man pansin. Sa bawat gintong nakamit, nandito aking hiin. Di lang ako anino, di lang ako kwento, naririto ako, bahagi ng mundo. Babae ako, minero ako, may lakas, pangarap at puso. Huwag kaming limutin, tinig ay dinggin sa bawat butil ng ginto. Sipag at galing ang bigay ko, isulong ang pagkilos, kaming kababaihan. Kasabi mo sa laban, sa pagunlad ng ating bayan. Isulong ang pagkilos para sa pagbabago, para sa lahat ng tao. Isulong ang trabaho para sa kinabukasan. Kumikinang ang ginto ng bayan, kailangan lang kaming suportahan sa pagsulong ng aming karapatan.
Isulong ang pagkilos, indeed! Thank you so much, and what a powerful anthem! Not just to close this chapter, but also to set the tone for what must continue. Thank you so much once again to Meggie and Nicole of AGC Philippines. And of course, thank you to everybody that joined in singing along. And now, everyone, as we look to the horizon, we hear from a key leader in ensuring the sustainability and institutionalization of the gains that we have made. Please welcome the Undersecretary for Field Operations, Supervising Undersecretary for MGB and EMB, Luzon and Visayas of the DENR, and the Chair of the planetGOLD Philippines Project Steering Committee. We welcome him back on stage, Attorney Juan Miguel Cuna.
Thank you very much. Isang makalikasang hapon po sa ating lahat. Before I deliver my message, allow me please to acknowledge our distinguished guests and participants in today's event. Mr. Rene Roger Tissot, the Executive Director of AGC Canada. Ms. Rocio Fernandez, Task Manager of the UNEP. Ms. Lai Hoa, the Project Administrator of UNIDO. Mr. Teddy Monroy, who've been working with him for a long time, Country Representative of UNIDO. Ms. Rosabel B. Guerrero, Assistant Governor of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Erice Linaban, Director of the BSP. Noel Neil Malimban, also a Director of the BSP. Toman D. Carino Jr., Director of the BSP. The Honorable Felicito O. Dula, Municipal Mayor of the LGU of Sagada. The Honorable Bernadette E. Asutilia, Councilor of the LGU of Paracale. Ms. Rose Elaine F. Ferrer, President of Auro Resources Trading. Earlier, Undersecretary Jonas Leones of the DENR was here today. This afternoon, my colleague, Undersecretary Anelisa Rebueltate is here. Director Al Orolfo of the Foreign Assisted Special Projects Office of the DENR. Engineer Teddy Sandoval of the Mines and Geosciences Bureau. Engineer Danny Molina of MGB, Region 5, our Regional Director. Regional Director Socrates Garlan of the MGB Cordilleras Autonomous Region. And Attorney John Edward Ang of the Environmental Management Bureau. Good afternoon again to everyone. Let me extend my warm greetings once again to our development partners from the Global Environment Facility, from UNEP, UNIDO, and of course, the Artisanal Gold Council. To our partners from the local government units of Paracale, Camarines Norte, and Sagada, Mountain Province, to our fellow national government agencies, and most especially to the small-scale mining communities. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagdalo at pakikisa. As chair to the Planet Gold Philippines Project Steering Committee, I take this opportunity to reaffirm the DENR's strong commitment to sustain and institutionalize the achievements and lessons gained through this very successful project. The project has shown us that it is indeed possible to transform the ASGM sector into one that is safer for people and the environment, and more economically viable for miners and their communities. It has supported our country's compliance with the Minamata Convention on Mercury, while also contributing to inclusive development of the grassroots level. From what we've heard today, the Mercury-Free processing systems established by the project, alongside training and policy innovations, have built capacity among miners and local government units, strengthened interagency collaboration, and laid the foundation for formalization and access to finance. But let us also recognize the greater challenge and opportunity that lies ahead. With the closing, our shared task is to ensure that its outcomes are not isolated successes, but part of a sustained nationwide effort to reform and develop the ASGM sector. In line with this, let me outline the key directions and the commitments of the DENR moving forward. First, mainstreaming Planet Gold Philippines models into national and local programs. DMFPS technologies, training modules, and formalization templates developed under the project will be integrated into DENR's ongoing initiatives through the Mines and Geosciences Bureau and our field operations. These will form part of the standards and guidance we will promote to local government units and MGB regional offices. Second, aligning with the new NAP project led by MGB and AGC. We fully welcome and support the upcoming GEF-funded National Action Plan project on ASGM, implemented by UNEP and MGB, and executed by the Artisanal Gold Council. This new project was built directly on the foundations laid by the Planet Gold Philippines. It offers an opportunity to update policy frameworks, expand technical support, and reach more small-scale mining communities across the country. The synergy between the outcome of the Planet Gold Philippines and the objectives of the NAP provides a clear path for institutional continuity and scale. Third, enhancing interagency coordination and policy integration. The success of Planet Gold Philippines lies in its multi-sectoral approach. Moving forward, we will continue to promote institutional cooperation between the DENR and other agencies to harmonize policies on ASGM formalization, mercury phase-out, occupational health and safety, and market integration. These must be embedded with the national development strategies and operationalized at the local level. And fourth, institutionalizing monitoring and knowledge sharing. The tools, data, and insights generated by Planet Gold Philippines, such as baseline studies, process flow guides, technical references, and community feedback must now be embedded in our national systems and inform ongoing and future initiatives. To support this, the knowledge management platform developed under the project will be adopted as a centralized resource hub for ASGM-related knowledge. It will serve not only as a repository of project outputs, but also as a dynamic tool for training, policy reference, monitoring, and cross-agency coordination. Importantly, MGB will ensure the use of the KM platform to help streamline the processing and application of small-scale mining-related permits by making requirements, templates, and procedures more accessible, transparent, and consistent across the regions. This will help improve turnaround times, reduce bottlenecks, and support more responsive service delivery at the regional and local levels. In summary, while the project's operational phase may be closing, what it has introduced must now be carried forward, not just by the DENR, but by all of us who believe in a more responsible mining sector. The DENR, through its leadership and operational arms, commits to being a key driver in this effort. This is not just a technical task, but a moral and environmental imperative. It's about protecting our now for the future. Above all, it's about proving that inclusive and sustainable development is not only possible, but necessary. Maraming salamat po, and we look forward to working with all of you as we build on the legacy of Planet Gold Philippines. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Yusek Cuna, for affirming DNR's continuing commitment to the ASGM sector through clear and comprehensive action plans. Next, we hear from another committed partner. Please welcome the country representative of UNIDO Philippines, Mr. Teddy Monroy.
Thank you so much for the introduction. It is a pleasure and honor to be with you all today. A pleasant afternoon to all our distinguished guests, partners, and stakeholders. I want to begin my remarks with the offering of my heartfelt congratulations to everyone who has been a part of the Planet Gold Philippines initiative. The accomplishments of this project truly are immense, especially when we get to realize and understand the complex nature of the challenges facing the artisanal and small-scale gold mining sector in the Philippines. ASGM communities in the Philippines are marginalized and poverty-driven groups engaged in traditional gold mining activities for livelihood. They are besieged with significant social, economic, and environmental challenges. Around 500,000 miners across more than 40 provinces contribute to 70%, some say 80% of the country's gold production. While some ASGM operations are formally registered, having small-scale mining contracts under the Minahang Bayan, many remain informal with limited government regulation and monitoring. This leads to a vicious cycle of poverty, neglect, and abuse for the ASGM communities. The sector they belong to is often characterized by complicated ownership, unclear financial flows, and underreported production, partly due to the many miners operating without permits and selling gold to informal buyers. They often operate under harsh conditions, lacking proper training, protective gear, and pollution controls, exposing miners and their families to health risks, including mercury poisoning and diseases due to limited healthcare access. As ASGM is typically a family enterprise, women and children disproportionately become exposed to the health hazards brought about by the use of mercury, while school dropouts also become common incidents because children do participate, although covertly, in some mining activities to support their families. The Planet Gold Philippines initiative has focused its efforts these past 6 years to promote responsible and sustainable mining practices, including interventions to reduce mercury use and improve environmental and health outcomes. I admit that the project is quite special to me, as I was part of the original team who designed and worked on the structuring of the project. I still remember Yusek Analizate and myself crawling inside a mine tunnel when we visited some of the ASGM sites. I am very grateful for the trust that the Philippine government has accorded to the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. I am likewise pleased to have been able to collaborate on the ground with our executing partner, the Artisanal Gold Council, and I am even prouder now to witness the project's completion this year and the legacy it leaves behind. While we celebrate the successful closing of the Planet Gold Philippines project, this year is even made more meaningful because we are also commemorating the 80th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations, a global system UNIDO is a part of. In June of 1945, the Philippines and many other founding member countries signed the UN Charter as an instrument of international law all the UN member states are bound by. After 80 years, as times have evolved and situations have advanced and progressed, we contemplate the purpose of the United Nations and the continuing relevance of its mandate. I recall a statement uttered by former Philippine Foreign Affairs Secretary and the first ever Director General of UNIDO, Mr. Domingo Siazon. He said, "We must never lose sight of the fact that all our labors in the United Nations have as their center and object the human person, his or her security, dignity, and well-being above ideology, above religion, and above even the state itself." In Filipino, this translates to, hindi natin kailanman dapat kalimutan ang katotohanan na ang lahat ng ating mga gawain sa United Nations, ang sentro ng mga ito ay ang tao, ang kanyang seguridad, dignidad, kapakanan at kagalingan. Higit pa sa ideolohiya, higit pa sa relihiyon, at higit pa sa bayang kanyang kinabibilangan. Intense words with tremendous meaning. It makes clear that even as UNIDO strives to help its member states like the Philippines promote inclusive and sustainable industrial development, the organization must look beyond the inanimate concepts of value chains, food systems, industrial parks, advanced technologies, tools and methodologies, waste treatment facilities, artificial intelligence, and renewable energy, and remember that everything we do is for the benefit of the human person, just like those in the ASGM communities we have served. So the work continues for UNIDO with renewed vigor and purpose, as a lot still need to be done. We now take the learnings from the implementation of the Planet Gold Philippines project and explore how these can be applied to other ASGM sites outside of Paracale and Sagada. How else can we strengthen the entire gold supply chain and implement responsible and sustainable standards while being fair and equitable to all? UNIDO cannot do this alone. We will need partners, passionate collaborators such as yourselves, who will continue to work with us, and generous contributors who will provide the needed resources. Together, we can forge ahead along the path we have already established and create more impact than what we have already accomplished together so far. Using a broader lens, we also look at opportunities to assist the country in its efforts to inclusively and sustainably advance the minerals industry, especially to support the green energy transition and to generate green jobs in the process. While gold remains the primary mineral under the country's small-scale mining framework, The national conversation around critical minerals and green industrialization is gaining momentum. In the long term, should policies evolve and technical capacities grow, small-scale mining communities could have a role in responsibly contributing to the country's broader green mineral strategy. We continue to work on this work stream and coordinate closely with the Philippine government, leveraging on the platform offered by the Global Alliance on Critical Minerals hosted by UNIDO and supported by the government of Saudi Arabia. Let me end by expressing my gratitude to the Global Environment Facility for making this project possible. I thank our partners in government, especially our hardworking colleagues from the Mines and Geosciences Bureau of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Thank you to the ASGM Miners Associations and other collaborators such as the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the DOH, the DOLE, the DILG, all the LGUs, the NCIP, and private sector partners who participated in the project. And to our partners in UNEP and our executing partner, the Artisanal Gold Council, bravo. It was great working with you to help transform the ASGM sector and until our next adventure. UNIDO remains deeply committed to supporting the country in achieving a mercury-free ASGM sector and fostering an inclusive and sustainable industrial development. The planetGOLD Philippines project has laid a strong foundation, but as have been repeatedly said today, the work is far from done. By promoting responsible mining practices, capacity building, and technology transfer, we aim to continue empowering communities, protecting the environment, and contributing to inclusive economic growth. Together, we can build a future where the Philippines harnesses its mineral wealth responsibly, supports its miners, and champions sustainable development for many generations to come. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Teddy Monroy. Truly, messages like this remind us that while the project may be reaching its close, the mission, of course, continues. Maraming salamat ulit, Mr. Monroy, for affirming UNIDO's commitment first and foremost to the human being. And cheers to the next adventure indeed. And now to formally close today's celebration, we hear from someone who has championed this initiative from the very beginning. Please welcome the GEF operational focal point of the DENR and its Undersecretary for Finance, Information Systems, and Climate Change, Attorney Annalisa Ter.
Maraming salamat sa ating tagapagpakilala to our partner mining communities, partner local government units, our partners from UNIDO, and of course our colleagues from the different national agencies and DNR, led here by Undersecretary Mitch Cuna. Isang makalikasang hapon po sa inyong lahat. So as we close this milestone event and mark the completion of the 5-year journey of the planetGOLD Philippines project, please allow me to express on behalf of the DNR our deep appreciation to all of you, the dedicated project team, national and local partners, development agencies, and the hardworking mining communities who made this endeavor possible. What we celebrated today is a reaffirmation of what is possible when governance, science, innovation, and community action come together in service of a shared goal, which is to transform the artisanal and small-scale gold mining sector into one that is responsible, inclusive, and sustainable. Through the support of the planetGOLD Philippines and our partners, we now have introduced mercury-free processing systems, enhanced access to finance and formal gold markets, strengthened institutional convergence, and more gender-responsive capacity development. For those who had the chance to visit the exhibit outside, you would have seen these gains clearly documented on the legacy wall, in the training manuals, the coffee table book, and even in the ore and gold samples on display. And yes, this gold was processed without mercury. These materials represent work that is not only tangible, but also replicable and transformative. At the DNR, we have always emphasized that formalization of ASGM is not just a compliance exercise, it is about equity, empowerment, and environmental integrity. And this project has shown us that formalization can be made real through systems that listen to the voices of minors, support women's leadership, and uphold public health and ecological responsibility. The turnover of toolkits, manuals, and materials today is not a handoff, but a handover of responsibility. Our task now is to institutionalize what works, to integrate these tools into policy and practice, and to ensure that the progress made continues to evolve and scale. We need to embed what works into our planning, permitting, regulation, and monitoring systems, and ensure that the momentum built through the project carries forward across DNR bureaus like MGB and EMB in partnership with LGUs and the mining communities. ASGM is not peripheral to development. It is embedded in our economic, social, and environmental realities. Minerals are vital not only for sustaining livelihoods in rural communities, but also for advancing national development goals and enabling the global transition to clean energy. Within this context, promoting responsible mining entails formalizing the ASGM sector and eliminating mercury use, consistent with our commitments with the Minamata Convention. I was listening earlier with the testimony of our partner mining association, and I heard that they said that there should be more projects like this. So we are now gearing towards the JEF9 replenishment, and we're already talking with the Teddy how we can push, develop more projects along this line. And right now, we will, in the meantime, we will be developing the national action plan, no? And I think it will be led by our field operations also through Undersecretary Mitch Cuna. So we will be really making sure that we sustain this. This is not supposed to be just a pilot project, but it should be something that can be replicated and scaled up. So on behalf of the DNR, we'd like to extend our heartfelt congratulations and gratitude to everyone who contributed to this milestone. May we continue to support each other in the work ahead to build a mining sector that uplifts lives, protects nature, and supports climate and development goals. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikiisa at mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Maraming salamat. Thank you so much, Undersecretary Te, for that heartfelt and inspiring message. Now, everyone, before we truly wrap up, we invite everyone to witness one final moment. So everyone, please watch this.
In every mining village, in every story of change, there are partners who made it possible. This is a thank you from us to you.
Dati, kinakalawang ang aming baga dahil sa Mercury. Ngayon, ligtas na kami naghahanap buhay. Maraming salamat sa mga taong bumubuo ng planetGOLD Philippines Project.
Minero at magsasaka ako. Mahalaga ang lupa, dito kami nabubuhay. Kaya't mahalaga ang pagmimina na hindi nasisira ang kalikasan. Salamat sa inyo sa pagtuturo ng ligtas na paraan ng pagmimina.
Matagal nang hangarin ng mga minero dito na maging legal. Sa tulong ng Planet Gold Philippines, mas malinaw ang landas. Salamat sa gabay at suporta sa aming minahang bayan.
Salamat sa tulong ninyo sa pag-ayos ng papilis, pag-organisa ng asosasyon, at paglapit ng gobyerno sa aming mga minero.
Isang malaking hakbang ang formalisasyon sa aming lalawigan. Ang suportang technical at legal ng Planet Gold Philippines Project ay mahalaga sa aming direksyon para sa responsabling pagmimina.
Mula sa capacity building hanggang sa policy support, naging katuwang namin ang Planet Gold Philippines Project sa pagsusulong ng Mercury-Free and legal ASGM sector.
Because of the trainings and policy workshops of Planet Gold Philippines Project, we are more ready to help the needs of the ASGM sector.
Bilang isang babaeng minero, dati hindi kami kinikilala, pero ngayon may boses na kami sa samahan at sa komunidad. Salamat po sa pagkilala sa papel ng kababaihan.
Sabi nila, malas raw sa minahan ang babae. Pero kami, gamit ang edukasyon at suporta, ay naging mga lider ng pagbabago.
Ang lupaing minana namin ay hindi lang kabuhayan. Ito ay sumasalamin sa aming kultura, kasaysayan at espiritu. Salamat sa Planet Gold Philippines Project sa paggalang sa aming karapatan at kabuhayan bilang katutubo.
Maraming salamat po sa pagbibigay ng espasyo sa mga kabataan upang matuto, makilahok at maging daan ng pagbabago sa aming komunidad. Sa tunay na pagkilala sa aming kakayahan ay naisasabuhay ang diwa na ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan.
Kapag may kaalaman, may kapangyarihang pumili ng tama. Maraming salamat sa pagdadala ng edukasyon sa aming paaralan at sa aming komunidad.
Ang agham ay dapat abot kamay ng mamamayan. Salamat sa pagbubuo ng tulay sa pagitan ng kaalaman at komunidad.
Habang nagtuturo kami, natuto rin kami mula sa mga minero. Salamat sa pagbukas ng pinto ng pagkatuto sa lahat.
With the help of the project, our understanding of the needs of the small-scale miners have greatly deepened. Thank you for bringing together financial institutions and the ASGM sector.
Napakahalaga ang pagkukwento sa tamang paraan. Dahil sa inyo, mas nauunawaan namin ang responsableng ASGM.
Sa pamamagitan ng tamang impormasyon, napapalitan ang dating negatibong pananaw sa ASGM. Salamat sa pagkilala sa papel ng media sa pagbabagong ito.
Before po, marami dito sa amin ang hindi talaga alam kung gaano kapeligro ang mercury. Pero dahil sa mga training at materials na dinala ng project, unti-unting namulat ang mga tao. Ang kaalaman na yan, buhay ang pwedeng mailigtas.
Ngayon, mas kumpante na ang aking pagtatrabaho sa minahan. Dahil alam kong protektado ako at ang aking pamilya.
Mula sa isang informal na grupo, tungo sa rehistradong asosasyon. Kasama namin ang Planet Gold Philippines sa bawat hakbang. Salamat po.
Dati akala namin Mercury lang ang pwedeng gamitin, pero ngayon may ligtas na teknolohiya na pwedeng gamitin. Maraming salamat Planet Gold Philippines sa pagbukas ng bagong pag-asa sa aming mga minero.
Dati, nahihiya at natatakot kaming aminin na kami ay minero. Ngayon, taas noon na kaming nagsasabing kami ay responsableng maliit na minero.
Maraming salamat, Planet Gold Philippines.
Sa pagtulong sa amin
na makamit ang responsabling pagmimina.
Naligtas, makatao,
Makakalikasan at may respeto sa kultura at karapatan.
This is more than a project. It is a partnership, a movement, a commitment to safer, cleaner, and more responsible ASGM in the Philippines.
Walang sawang pasasalamat sa inyong lahat.
Yaman, Planet Gold Philippines.
Magapo kunda kami ay iguro. Salamat kunda kayo ay Planet Gold Philippines.
Diyos mapalo sa Indogabos, Planet Gold Philippines!
Agyaman kami kada kayo amin.
Agyaman Planet Gold Philippines.
Agyaman Planet Gold Philippines.
Yaman!
A heartfelt thanks to Planet Gold Philippines.
Planet Gold Philippines!
Planet Gold Philippines, thank you!
Thank you, Planet Gold Philippines! Maraming salamat sa Planet Gold Philippines.
Development only works when it's built on trust. Thank you for opening your doors and hearts to us. It means everything to the success of the Planet Gold Philippines project.
To all our partners, maraming salamat po. From all of us at AGC Planet Gold Philippines Project.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, these are the faces at the heart of this project. The miners who pushed through for their families, the women who rose as leaders, the youth who spoke up, and the allies who stood with them. We invite everyone in the room to please rise and honor their courage and their stories. And of course, we are giving them a resounding round of applause as they truly deserve. We honor your life and the dignity of your work. And with that, to seal this moment, we invite everyone to join us in one final pledge. Please repeat after me, as they say, with feelings, but with full conviction and commitment as well. So say this after me. We stand as one, bound by shared ground and a shared promise. We honor the land that sustains us, the hands that labor with dignity, and the voices that rose to demand a better way. We carry forward the lessons of the past 6 years. The systems we've built and the stories that shape them. And with every step beyond today, we pledge to protect, to uplift, and to lead toward a future that is safer, fairer, and truly mercury-free. And to lead toward a future that is safer, fairer, and truly mercury-free. Because together, say it with me, 1, 2, 3, and go. Because together, we can make Mercury history. Let's continue. We can and we are making a world of difference in small-scale gold mining. Give ourselves a round of applause. That pledge, ladies and gentlemen, wasn't just a moment, it is a movement, and each one of us is definitely a part of it. Let's carry with us the stories, the lessons, and most of all, the shared responsibility to sustain everything that we have built together. Once again, everybody, we thank you for your presence today. This has been the Planet Gold Philippines Project Closing Celebration, and this has been your host, Leslie Lina. It has truly been an honor to walk you through this momentous gathering. Maraming salamat to all of our guests, partners, and champions across the ASGM sector. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. Give yourselves another round of applause. You truly deserve it. All right, what is up next? Of course, we need to take one more photo. We would like to ask everybody this time to come in front. So we'll have our VIPs on stage and we will also fill up the stage area. Kung hindi po kasya lahat, we'll also have some people down here in front. So first off, we'd like to ask our VIPs to please come on over to the stage. Once we've set them here on stage, we can also join. And of course, for everybody else, you can join us as well here on stage and also join us here in front. We want to make sure that everybody, all of our stakeholders are here. Once again, calling everybody. We'd like to call in everybody to come in front. So we have our VIPs and our guests of honor, of course, here on the stage. Kung kasya pa, pwede pa tayo. We can add more people on stage. At marami po tayong space dito sa harap. So please join us here. We have an open space here in front. So we'd like to see everybody. All right. Okay, everybody is making their way to the front.